All right, welcome to episode 1 of turning this garage into a workshop. Going to be utilizing this space for all my future projects from this point forward. Any build projects or knickknacks that I want to make, create, have fun with, even artistic stuff. Obviously, it still looks very empty right now. Just barely finished maybe half of getting this prepared. The next step, and by the end of this video, we'll be filling it with a bunch of equipment that I already have, like hand-me-down equipment, old equipment. And as the projects come, any future things that I do in here, that'll help determine what equipment is really needed, where it's needed, reorganizing this place maybe, adding stuff, and improving the workflow in this whole area. But for today's episode, gonna just go over the whole process of getting this area ready, essentially. All right, first thing to note is the walls have been painted, including like this whole area has been painted. Can't remember the color off the top of my head. I'll put that in the description below. But I have a couple floodlights that are adjustable, like the angle, and then a fan up there because it is the summer right now, so it's very hot. The first thing we actually worked on was the floors. We just kept the old floors. It's very dirty, it's very messed up, you know. Could have redone the concrete, could have done an epoxy flooring, but instead we opted to just leave it like this because it's gonna get dirty anyway. I know it looks nasty, but it's gonna probably get nastier. So the only thing we actually did was fill the cracks. To fill the cracks, we used the method I found on YouTube. Essentially filling most of the depth with sand, just regular play sand from Home Depot or like a hardware store. And then we left the gap 3/4 away to the top and filled the rest of that space with this polyfoam caulk saver. It's like and we have different sizes. This one's 5/8. There's like 1 inch, 1/4 of an inch. Because the cracks, as you can see, they get thicker and thinner at certain points. So we use the different sizes. Once the cracks were filled all the way, finished it off with some concrete non-sag polyurethane sealant. And then just sprinkled some extra sand over top, just to kind of cover that shiny polyurethane. And also, it's gonna fill with dust or collect dust. So to kind of prevent that, we use the sand. And then over in one of the corners, we had a huge hole. So completely just filled it with a quick set concrete. So now that the flooring was done, now it's time to organize the stuff that I already have in here, the stuff that I've been kind of using to work on the workshop itself. So I got this storage rack, just a bunch of different extra items. Obviously it'll probably get filled more, especially when we move some of the old equipment over. So this was the second step, just putting a workspace, table space that's part of the workshop itself, like a non-freestanding table. As you can see, we kind of went with a triangle brace or diagonal brace framing system with bird's mouth connections, as you can see here. First picked up some Douglas fir 2x4x8s from Home Depot or Lowe's, whatever. Measured out the whole area. installing horizontal pieces onto the walls up here and down here, and just connecting them to the studs in the walls. And this garage is really, really old. So the studs were not at 16 inches on center. They were actually more closer to 18 inches. So you can kind of see it is sort of wide, but it's fine. It's gonna hold what it needs to hold. And then while installing, we realized that this top one needed to come off so that it'd be easier to mount the horizontal braces right there. So we took it out, put our horizontal braces, drilled those in from the outside, as you can see from here. Same thing on the opposite side. And then reinstalled the whole frame. Once the frame was installed, kind of measured out how our triangle braces or diagonal pieces would go. And this took a lot of trial and error because it wasn't a perfect triangle. This was about 18 inches for the frame, but down to this bottom support piece, it was about 18 and a half or 19 inches. And also we put this here because it perfectly matches this extra concrete piece that's just kind of randomly part of the structure, but use that to our advantage. Put the bird's mouth connected right to the concrete. So with these pieces, cutting, measuring, and as you can see, it looks a little bit different for this one because this was our very first one. Came out to end up looking more like this. And then installed these diagonals to the horizontal pieces. On the bottom, you can see we didn't actually install it or drill it in, which the weight of anything here is just gonna push down and just push directly into that. Obviously, it would be better to secure it, but you don't really have to, so we didn't. And then I picked up some plywood, had them cut it down in size, and of course left a little gap on the sides just for heat expansion. When drilling these in, originally, because this plywood is finished and it is plywood, tends to like split, fracture, whatever it's called when you drill. What's nice about these Sprax screws is they have this at the bottom, you can kind of see, but that helps with not fracturing the wood. So I didn't need a countersink on the plywood. And you can see it's a clean finish. I just recently learned that, which is pretty cool. If you don't want to go through the extra effort of countersinking, use the Sprax screws with that little like jimping thing on the bottom of the head. So there we have the table space. Measured it out to be pretty standard, where it's 3 feet high and 2 feet in depth. And then it just spans across the whole back side of the workshop. This will be a good work area, also kind of storage for the gear that's gonna be coming in here. And then with all this extra space, you know, we can put more tables in. Also, probably more storage area too. And then maybe somehow take advantage of this attic kind of thing. Take advantage of the frame somehow. Other than that, that's pretty much it for episode 1. Appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to check back in for episode 2, where we continue to build out this workshop and improve it, perfect it, make it intuitive, and put everything to good use.